Man, get up here in the Zoloft to get your head right.
All right, what's up, Head Right homies? Welcome to the Zoloft, your Head Right hangout. I hope y'all have been having a groovy week, man. It's almost Friday. Man, make the most of your weekend, y'all. So, David Hogg, man, thanks, David. I'm with you, man. I'm with you. David Hogg says, democracy. Democracy is the problem. Democracy is what put us through school shooter drills and school shootings. Is what put us through the climate crisis and so much more. No argument for me, David. Hey, let him do that. I see some Republicans responding to him and stuff like that and making fun of him and all this other. No, man, you should be cheering him on. He's saying it better than a lot of mainstream Republicans are out there saying. He said, yeah, David, democracy is a problem. And yes, it is the reason why we have these school shooting drills and school shootings and climate crisis and all that sort of stuff. You know, Democrats want to control everything. You know, as I've said 1,000 times, man, want to control everything. They want to control what we eat, what we watch, what we're educated by, control the population, control the weather. They want to be in control of everything. They're a bunch of control freaks. Okay, and they want us to conform to, and they want us to see what they conform to as what's, to be enlightened and to be popular and all that sort of stuff. That's what we're talking about with the democracy, the majority, right? Well, you got to get what seems to be the majority of people to agree on this and find it the thing that we want to vote on and what we want to be to have kept in place. It's really fascist. Because people start getting violent about this stuff. They want to start beating people over the head with their ideology, right? And have the state come in and make what they've been conditioned to think is the right thing to have in place is what's going to rule the land. All right, so yeah, David, you're right. Democracy is at the fault of this. Throughout history, like whether you're talking about school shootings or church bombings or politically motivated violence, assassination attempts and assaults and all that sort of stuff, man, that's coming from the left wing of the spectrum, man. You're communists, you're socialists, you're Democrats, and you ain't got to call Democrats communists or socialists to try to make them look more evil or anything like that. Republicans, you ain't got to do that as if being a Democrat isn't bad enough. All right, a Democrat is its own special kind of evil, man. When you try to call them communists and socialists, the only thing you're doing is helping them look more popular. Communism and socialism, that stuff is fashionable, man. You're trying to vilify it and stuff like that. A lot of people are sucked into believing that, hey, man, that's all the hip kids. All the kids are doing it. That's the hip stuff, man. You might want to stop doing that because it's fashionable. All right, and like I said, Republicans, they're dependent on Democrats making things so bad that people are like, hey, maybe we should try something different because Republicans ain't very good at selling their worldview. All right, and Republicans are more and more losing sight of who they are in the first place. But you got David Hogg here, who's basically like the Democrat version of Charlie Kirk, he's zeroed in on it. Like, yeah, democracy is the problem. So yeah, when you got Democrats out there constantly making people feel like they're victims and they're owed, right? And hey, man, being made to be feel like a villain, that's popular, man. That's delicious. You get a lot of votes based on that. You got to get out there and make the people feel like they're owed justice, right? There's recompense due to them. You got to make them feel like they're a victim and there's a boogeyman that they've got to be against. Works like a charm, man. Right? Democrats get a lot of popularity as far as that goes. Democrats, man, they don't respect what it is to maintain, what this country is. See, Democrats, they have a fantasy that America's supposed to be a democracy. We have democratic processes, yeah. We elect people to go in and maintain our God-given rights. Our rights come from God. Man doesn't give us our rights. Man can protect the rights that we have, yeah, but they don't come from him. And there has to be due process if those things are going to be taken away from people, So Democrats, they want to be able to be the judges as far as, when we have rights, whether it's the right to life, the right to liberty, the right to pursuit of happiness and property. Democrats want to control all those things, right? They hate it that we're a republic where these things are instituted by God. And man, is our charge is to maintain those things, is to help protect those things and keep those in place, because those things can be voted away, right? And once again, and when Democrats, when those votes don't go the way that they want, they're the ones who have a hissy fit, and they either want to commit violence, right, or they want to sue the public for it. I guess when they can't sue the public for it, then they get violent about it. But y'all, they run and control everything. Promote out there, and you got Republicans helping it. That's right. We got to defend democracy. The Republicans be out there selling Democrats just as well as Democrats sell themselves as far as this goes. Democrats get a lot of help from Republicans. You know, look at Fox News. Democracy 2024, 2025, and all this sort of stuff. Out there just selling democracy. They do that. You know? So David Hogg, man, he's on to it. He gets it. But, I mean, at the same time, he doesn't, because he thinks that the problem is that we, the youth, we need to get these old people out of there. And they've had their and forgetting that these older people were David Hogg's age at one time, too, and they were saying the same thing. This goes back to, like, even Lincoln. Lincoln was like, man, don't even try it. Because the Democrats back then, they were trying to call themselves the conservatives. And Lincoln was like, man, ain't nothing conservative about you. You guys think that you're coming in with some new ideas and all that sort of stuff, and what you're doing is removing people more and more from liberty. Why don't we stick to the ways of old, what the founders intended? That's why it's called the Grand Old Party. We stick and we adhere to these things because this is the path that maintains our liberty. Y'all are trying to do something else with it and think that you guys are doing something new and improved. It's just going to end up, you know, it doesn't work. Lincoln was saying that, all right? So, you know, these progressive ideas, they're really more just, you know, as progressive as cancer, really. So David Hogg hasn't really woken up to that. He just thinks that he's just this new generation who thinks that, oh, we need to have the ideas of young people leading the way. It's like, man, that's like every generation with the Democrat Party think that that's what it is. It's the young people who are going to lead the way, you know? So David, in terms of like the violence, the shooting, man, you could, all these places that have these things, man, these are places run by Democrats. Democrats are the ones in history, the left-leaners and stuff like that, on the left end of the spectrums, they're the ones who get out there and enact these moments of violence. They do that. That's not us. That's y'all, right? And so, and in terms of the climate, same thing. Democrats have been talking about, you know, trying to scare people about the climate for decades, man. They've been doing that for a long time. Okay, and they're the ones who control all these things, and the ones who preach to us about this. They live in these areas, whether it's Los Angeles or New York or Chicago. You got these environmentalists out there. They're all Democrats preaching to other people about how we need to clean up the earth and clean up the air, and clean up the water and stuff like that. Y'all have the dirtiest areas, right? The dirtiest areas, and you squander. You, like with the water, you squander the water. You get out there and complain about how there's no water and there's a drought and all that sort of stuff. You're like, you'll be in California, a state that's a drought-prone state anyway. All right, it's a drought-prone state. It's natural for it to have droughts, for one. But to mitigate that, you should have reservoirs and you should have dams. And Democrats, they don't want that. They want the water to just keep on just rolling out to the ocean. They want to complain that it's somebody else's fault that they don't have any water. And when stuff gets all burned up and y'all didn't have the water to deal with it, you want to try to blame somebody else when it was your policies that put them things in there. You know? So David, that's your party, man. Your party does that. And you're right. Democracy is the problem. These people out there, self-righteousness, man, is a heavy seller. Selfishness and self-righteousness, and that's how you guys vote. You guys want everybody to conform. You want to get out there and make your ideology what's popular and get people to conform to it and assume that you have the popular vote as far as this stuff goes. You went out there and you sold it. Y'all run everything. I get it. You run everything and you make these things seem like that's what's popular. That's what's right. And people follow suit as far as that goes. And you guys get what you want. And it turns into a big problem because you guys don't respect that this is a republic. You want it to be a democracy. So you're right, David. Do you, man, call them out. Democracy sucks. I don't think you really understand why it does, but hey, I guess even I need to know when to leave well enough alone, right? Just sit back and say, yeah, go ahead and call them out, David. Call them out. All right, y'all. That's what I got to say about it. There's your dose from the Zoloft. BronzeSerpentMedia.com. Y'all, hope you guys drop by. Become a member. It's free. Drop a buck in the bucket to keep Bro Zo on the go. And y'all have a groovy rest of your week. Right on, y'all. Bye.